It's not groundbreaking to say that part of learning to improvise is practicing scales. The problem is just running them up and down over and over again gets stale really fast. And even after weeks of practice, you might still feel like you're getting lost or you're not making any music out of the scales. So in this video, I'm going to show you my favorite way to go about finding the music that is in the scales. I do a variation of this exercise every single day, and it has really been foundational in building my sense of freedom on the fretboard. You know that freedom that guitar players always talk about, right? Being able to play something beautiful wherever I find myself on this mysterious grid. This exercise is all about moving objects through a scale without losing your place. We will do 4 examples, and we'll start first one just as simple as we can possibly make it, right? But for each of these, we need a scale and we need an object. So here's our scale. We're gonna use a C major scale. And real quick, if that feels difficult already, if you don't know how to play that or how to find that or even what that is, don't worry, check the description. You'll find a video that I made about how to get started with the major scale that I think you should check out. Start there if this feels difficult already. We've got our scale, so next we need an object. Now, object, what is an object? An object really can be anything, but we're gonna start really simple. So this is an object we call threes. Threes means you start on a note, and you move up 3 notes in the scale. 1, 2, 3. That's a group of 3. Play that group of 3, play our object starting on the first note of the scale, starting on 1, and mentally note to yourself 1 as you do it. Then we're gonna move that object up through the scale. Next, it's gonna start on 2. And again, it's 3 notes up the scale, so. Then we're gonna move it again, start on 3. Play your object. Start on 4. Start on 5. Start on 6. 7. 1. That is 3s up the C major scale. Now we're going to try 3s down the major scale. So think of that note you just started on. And mentally note, this is the 3rd. This is note 3 in the C major scale. We're gonna go down 3 notes. 3. Then we're gonna mentally note 2 as we start on 2. Move that to 1 and mentally note 1. 7. 6. 5. 4. Last one, 3. You may find going down a little harder, right? So best practice is say the number of the starting note out loud as you play. Practice keeping your attention there on that starting note. Try to give less attention to the object itself. Almost imagine just letting it come forth out of the starting note. I picture it as the object is tethered to the starting note. And once you get good at this, you'll find that it's pretty easy to just move the tether, and the object will move along with it. Now that already sounds more musical to me, and it's much more enjoyable to practice doing that than just running the scales up and down, right? But let's do another example. We're gonna move to F major for this. And again, if you don't know how to find an F major scale, just check out that other video I was mentioning about how to get started with scales. But it's here. I'm gonna choose the 8th fret of the A string for my F major scale. And our object is gonna be 4s. 4s. This is going to be 4 notes up the scale instead of 3. So we're going to start on 1. Keep your attention on 1. Mentally note or say out loud 1, and let the object of 4 notes come out of it. Really try to maintain tethered. Keep your attention there on that 1, because now we're going to move it. Move the tether, move the starting note, and let the object follow. Move it again. Keep your attention on 2, then we move it to 3. Play the object, but keep your attention on 3 so that you can move the 3 to the 4, right? And then to 5, 6, 7, and last one, 1. And then same thing will come down. This is the 4 of F. So tether yourself there, that's your starting note, and let an object of 4 notes down come out. 4. keeping your attention on the 4 so that you can then move it to the 3, to the 2, to the 1, 7, 6, 5, last one, 4. Let's do that now with a metronome. So here we are. This is 60 beats per minute on the metronome. If this feels too fast for you, feel free, just rewind. Go back and do the last example a couple of times. But let's do eighth notes. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Down, 4, 3, 2, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4. And that's it. Okay, now example 3. This is the exciting one for me. This is the one that really changed the way that I look at scales and helps me break through some barriers. So we'll stick with 4s, and let's go to B flat major here. Find yourself a B flat major scale. But so think about this. Just now we were doing, when we went up the scale, the object was moving up, and we were moving it up through the scale. So we call that up and up, right? And then when we went down, it flipped. The object was moving down, and we moved it down through the scale. So both the object and the movement through the scale were downwards, right? Now check this out. We're going to do up but down. Up but down. Now what this means is up refers to the object. The object is going to move up. But the scale is going to move down. We're going to move it down through the scale. So up but down. Start here. Find the higher octave of a B flat. This is the 1 of B flat here. And our object was 4s, right? So 4 notes up, B flat. Really important that we stay tethered to that starting note. Think of 1, right? 1. Now think of 7. 6. Cool, right? Up but down. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. I love this one. Up but down. Let's do that with a metronome. Here's 60 beats per minute. 4s in B flat major. Up but down. Let's go in eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There it is. Now, before we do the last one, I want to mention a little bit about Chris Parks. Shout out to Chris Parks. I had practiced something like this a long time ago before I heard of Chris, but really the naming convention, especially in the sort of like codification of this exercise, comes to me from Chris Parks' channel, Things I Learned from Barry Harris. Amazing, amazing, wonderful wealth of knowledge available on that channel. Chris is somebody who is a total expert in practicing scales for generating bebop lines, for improvising in the bebop style. So if you're interested in jazz, especially as I am, you got to check out Things I Learned from Barry Harris. It's an amazing, amazing encyclopedic channel. Chris has a ton of videos, so I actually couldn't find the one where he talks about this up but down thing. But you should just check out his channel in general. All of his videos are extraordinarily helpful if you're trying to learn how to improvise bebop. And I'm sure he would say he didn't invent any of this stuff either, right? I'm sure this is one of the things that he learned from his study with the master Barry Harris. So last one for today, we did up but down. So now, of course, we got to go the other way. down, but up, right? So the pattern, we'll stick with the same thing. 4 is in B flat major. The object itself is going to go down, and then we're going to move it up through the scale. So that was 4. Here's 5. 6. 7. 1. 2. 3. 4. Man, I love these. Down but up. That's my favorite one by far. Let's do it with a metronome. Again, here's 60. We'll go in eighth notes. 4's in B flat major. Down but up. Ready? 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 5. 6. 7. 1. 2. 3. 4. I love down but up. That one just sounds so nice. Up but down, down but up. Inverting them like that really blew my mind the first time I practiced it. You know, I had practiced moving objects up and down the scale in sort of the more conventional way a lot. But when I first tried that, I was like, oh my God, I've only been practicing half of the stuff I'm supposed to be doing. Inverting them that way, it doubles the amount of stuff that you can generate with them, right? It's really beautiful. You can easily see how if you can play all these things, especially up but down and down but up, you're just gonna know your way around the scale a whole lot better, and it's gonna take a lot more for you to get lost in that pattern, right? With all 4 of these examples, I would suggest practicing it first without a metronome, really just keeping your attention and concentrating on calling out the number of the starting note, thinking of it as a tether, and then you can move the tether to the next one and the shape will move with it. I think that's really important. That's the visualization that helped me be free with these things. Once you're starting to hear it, then I think you should practice with a metronome like I showed in the examples. Be sure to get the PDF of all these shapes down in the description. That'll help with your practicing. I will say at the time of this recording, I have a few spots open for some online guitar lessons, so check the description if you're interested in that, if you want to learn more about improvising or jazz or guitar in general, right? Leave me a comment if you've got any questions. Please subscribe if you want to see more lessons like this. And thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.